Hi guys, I'm Sarah Hart from R&G Strategic. I'm a creative director here, and I'm super excited to jump into how to choose the right platform for your sustainable business. And there's lots of options for platforms in terms of like WordPress, Squarespace, and there are other ones like Wix and Weebly. So I'm just going to sort of highlight the ones that we suggest for your business and give you an overview of sort of the pros and cons and really hopefully give you some clarity so you can choose the right one for your sustainable business. So let's jump in. I'm just going to share my screen and we can get in here. So first thing before we jump in is to really think about that your website should be helping you achieve your sustainable business goals. So you know, is your website creating that authentic connection with your audience? Is it building trust with your stakeholders? If you do have a sales part to your website, is it bringing those leads to your sales team? So that's something to think about and get clear before going through this list and going through this together, because that will help you get some more clarity, because your website should always be helping you sort of build these things in your business. So first thing is, how do you choose the right platform for your business goals? So our top two suggestions are WordPress and Squarespace, and specifically a theme that we use in WordPress, which is called Divi by Elegant Themes. And to give a quick overview, if you're not sure of the platforms, we have WordPress, which is a totally free, really, really popular content management system. And with this one, you sort of are going to be buying your domain and hosting and downloading this for free onto your website. And they have thousands upon thousands, if not millions, of themes that you can add to that website. And then you have Squarespace, which is another really great content management system. It's a little bit more simple, not as popular, but really streamlined and great tool out of the box. And again, they also have lots of templates and themes to use as well. So going through, I'm going to be suggesting using a theme that we love, which is Divi by Elegant Themes. So I'll be talking about that a lot as well as we go through. So jumping in terms of how easy it is to use these platforms, Squarespace for sure is a lot easier to learn out of the box. It definitely has a lower learning curve. Like I said, they both use themes, but Squarespace can be a little bit more simple and easy to understand. You can set the fonts, color styles pretty easily, and that sort of thing. So let's just take a look at Squarespace's backend. So this is what it looks like on the backend. So you can see here you have pages, design, marketing, all kinds of information here. And as you click through, you go to each page, you can see it's the navigation here. This is where you're sort of setting. The nice thing about Squarespace, you're sort of setting everything up in this area here, which is nice. And then switching over to WordPress. WordPress is a little bit harder to learn in the beginning. You can see here, this is the back end of WordPress. Setting it up is a little bit more time intensive because you're buying, domain and hosting through your host and then installing WordPress. So that's already a two-step versus Squarespace is sort of like you're buying through Squarespace and everything's set up for you. So it can be a little bit harder to understand some of these options on the side. It can be a little bit hard to find certain elements and that sort of thing. That being said, you can easily duplicate pages in WordPress. So if I want to create a new page, it's very simple for me in WordPress to just go add new page and then clone an existing page. Versus in Squarespace, you kind of have to start from scratch. You do have a template, but you can't really just take this page and duplicate it, which I do a lot when I'm creating new pages. So that's just something to think about in terms of ease of use as well. Also, something about Squarespace, it's pretty easy to use, but one thing that people have noted is that the icons to, you can see here, this is the editor here, and both have a really sort of pretty easy to understand editor. I'm going in, you can see they have these icons. These can be a little hard to understand what these are. So they don't really have explain to you what those are, versus in WordPress, you know, I'm going to go into my editor here. And if I want to add something, this is how it's labeled. Let's go. You can see here it's labeled with text. So that can be a little bit more easy to understand in WordPress. Also, both have the option where you can just like type in text and change what you want, which is nice, and move things around. So they both have that nice visual editor, which makes things simple. So in terms of ease of use, Squarespace definitely the winner in that category. In terms of customization and functionality, WordPress just blows Squarespace out of the water in terms of that. You can pretty much integrate. There's integrations for anything you want to connect, whether it's for your sales funnel, your opt-ins, your email connections. If you want to have like an interactive map and that sort of thing, pretty much anything you want, you can get through WordPress. So the customizations are fantastic. Also, the mobile flexibility is great. You can see here that I actually have a nice little viewer here where I can switch to different sizes, and I can actually take and remove things, or even make a totally different custom mobile site if I want to, right in WordPress. Versus in Squarespace, there's mobile optimization, but it's not at that level. It's not completely optimized where you can change anything you want on the mobile site. Animations, overlapping design elements, WordPress has that option. So you can see here that, you know, we have animation text and images coming through. So there's a lot of sort of fun, there's a really fun design style here. So if you have a vision for a really engaging, unique design, definitely WordPress can make that happen for sure. Squarespace, it is limited, but it definitely makes up for itself because it makes things simpler. So basically you can set up all your styles pretty simply. Let's get out of here. Let's go in. You can just go into design. So this is really simple. You just go into design. You go to your site styles, and this is where you can set up all your colors and fonts and everything in here. So it kind of makes up for that in the simplicity of it. It has lots of integrations, not as many as WordPress, but definitely has a lot. And I have a link to that here. It is optimized for mobile. A big functionality miss, I think, for Squarespace, it doesn't have a media library. So for example, in WordPress, you can go to your dashboard and go to your media, add whatever you want, add a PDF, add an image. It's all in that media library. Versus Squarespace, they don't have that option. And there's some workarounds to create a media library, but it's not front row center. And I personally use that a lot. So that's a miss for me. Nice thing too about Squarespace in terms of functionality, they have integrated, if you go into the marketing piece, you can see they have email. You can actually send your emails through Squarespace. I think that's new, which is exciting. You can add a pop-up bar, announcement bar. It's very well integrated into the website. All right, so moving on to maintenance. So WordPress definitely wins with customization, but when it comes to maintenance, WordPress, you have to update plugins, you have to update the theme. So just going in once a month and just making sure everything is updated, or there is a possibility that for security issues. So that's a kind of weight that you're kind of feeling from WordPress. Also, you have your domain and hosting company. So if your website is down, there's that aspect too. So you have your WordPress and then your domain and hosting. So I can see how that could be, that's like an extra maintenance for people. And for Squarespace, once you buy, it's all sort of done for you, domain and host, everything is included. So all maintenance is, there's no updates you have to do. So it's just sort of ready to go whenever you go it. So Squarespace definitely wins the maintenance option there. In terms of customer support, they both have email support, video tutorials, YouTube, documentation. Pretty much you can find anything you want to do. You can definitely Google that and find what you need to know. I think the biggest difference is Squarespace has live chat, which is great. So if you have a question, you can chat with a person versus the WordPress option does not. A good alternative, or not alternative to that, but another thing that I personally like is Facebook groups. So the theme that we suggest to be theme has a group, lots of groups actually with over 30,000 people. So if you're stuck, there is a group of people to help you out. So that can be helpful as well. And I'm sure there are actually Squarespace groups as well. So that's another one. So I really love that. Squarespace has live chat though. Really nice option. And then in terms of the pricing, WordPress is free, but then you're going to be buying your domain and hosting, which domains usually like $12 to $20 a year, and then hosting's like $90 to like $200 a year. And then your theme, some of the themes are free, but the one that we suggest, and really suggest this theme, can't completely love it, but the theme is on for, it's either $90 a year or $250 all in one. So your WordPress fees, if you're going to be going that route, are going to be a little bit more pricey at the beginning. And then Squarespace, they have plans. So it can go from $8 to $30 a month. So you'd be spending around $100 to, like, say, $400 a year, depending on what you need your Squarespace, what level you need for your Squarespace site. The difference really is like the amount of mins you can have and that sort of thing. So that's sort of an overview of the pros and cons of each. I'm going to bring back my face. There we go. We're just going to jump into, before we finish up, I just want to jump into how to know which one to choose for your sustainable business. So let me just look at my slides here. So go with WordPress if you really do have a lead generation sequence going on. Let's say you have a sales funnel, a very intricate like sales funnel, email sequence, payments, all that good stuff. Maybe you're using like HubSpot or other systems that you want to integrate with. WordPress is definitely really good for that. I really suggest it too if you're sending paid traffic to a landing page, because WordPress, you can set it up so it's really, you really want people to click through and sign up, especially if you're sending money to it. So I really suggest that landing pages get sent to WordPress, because so you can customize those opt-in pages so they just convert really, really well. You can create landing pages in Squarespace, but I feel like you can really make sure that it's optimized for conversions in WordPress. If you really are a person who values customized design, like you have a brand that you want to be, modern and have an engaging website with, a bit of animation and that sort of thing, WordPress for sure. And if you have a lot of information on your website and you want to sort of organize it in a really easy to read, digestible way with infographics, a bit of animation, again, WordPress is your jam. And if you need a custom web version, mobile version, or you want a really specific mobile design or optimized designs that's different than the regular site, WordPress again. And if you're okay with that, if you are either have some a little bit of tech skills, or you're not afraid to learn WordPress, and you're not afraid to a little bit for the maintenance and that sort of a little extra effort that goes into WordPress. So if that sounds like you, WordPress is your jam. And if this sounds like you, if you want an out-of-the-box website that sort of everything, pretty much everything's already ready to go, that's definitely a Squarespace thing. Squarespace is really good for just getting you set up so you can do your thing without having to think about the technical stuff. So if you are the one, I really suggest Squarespace. If you are the one that's going to have to be updating and doing your website, and you don't have a team, or you don't have other people that are going to be doing this as part of their job, and it's just you and you're not interested in learning any of the tech stuff, definitely Squarespace for you. If you are creating a basic information website that just needs you, maybe your audience just needs you to just needs the information. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't have to be, what's the word for it? It doesn't have to be extra. Then that's a good choice. And if you really are someone who values simplicity over custom design, so you really just love your simplicity, like nice minimalism, go with Squarespace for sure. Also, we have some really good e-commerce integrations that you can, they already, without adding all kinds of plugins to it, some nice payment setups, so that's really good too. And if you have appointments or people scheduling or booking integration, that's good on Squarespace too. So if that sounds like you, sign up for Squarespace. Anyway, so that is the overview. I want to give you guys, before I go, a guide, because I know I talked about a lot of things. So I created a guide for you guys. Let me share my screen so you can take a peek at that. And there we go. So we have a guide. So it's everything we're talking about, but laid out really nicely with a nice pro and cons list for each one. So you can go to rgstrategic.com/platform guide. And I'll make sure to link this below the video, and that's your link to grab this PDF, hopefully make your life easier and give you some clarity on choosing the right platform for you. All right, so that's everything for today. I'm excited to do some more of these trainings shortly. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any suggestions or questions for me. All right, well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.